Dylan's always good to us.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this contest set for one fall is for the WWE Championship.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. It's your boys, Big Al, the Professor, and we are here live on Sunday at 6 p.m. as usual, Professor, and we got some comments right off the bat, as usual, from two of our best friends and best fans, and that is, Here we go. It's Sunday night Around the Turnbuckle with the Technician. Now, for those of you tuning in to see the Technician, he is not with us at the moment. We're hoping he comes on. We're going to talk for like a few minutes and see if he does show up. If he doesn't, we'll reschedule him. In the meantime, David Hill is also
Live
here.
YouTube, folks. Live YouTube. Anything can happen.
Good evening, David. Also, David Hill, always here as usual. Chris Vant, by the way, who is on every show, is in Nashville celebrating the Jets beating the Titans. Him and his wife and kid went to that, actually drove the 6 hours to Nashville to see that football game live and tailgate and enjoy it. So congrats to Chris. If you watch this later, you and the Jets with a big win today in Tennessee.
Yep.
So
love that passion. Football I'm not as passionate about, but you know what? Hey, anybody that's willing to do that for their passion, you have my respect.
Absolutely. So this little ticker screaming across the screen, guys, it just means that we are not here next week. I am in Tennessee. Speaking of Tennessee, I am in Tennessee in Chattanooga next week. I fly down there on Sunday the 22nd. So there's no Around the Turnbuckle next week. However, we return on the 29th with Draven, the Blackbird King, Professor, who has been making his way around Pennsylvania and looks to spread his wings, literally. And so we are looking forward to talking to Draven there and then. And we can't wait to see where he came from, what he's doing lately, and what he's got going on in the future. But Professor, this past weekend, last weekend, I should say.
Yes, last Sunday.
You were involved because I rode solo with the High Impact Champion, 3WA High Impact Champion,
Kai Thomas.
Kai Thomas. I'm sorry, Kai.
I am a big fan of Kai Thomas, folks. If you've not seen Kai Thomas, see Kai Thomas. That is a kid that is so far above where the fuck he should be in his career. Prodigy. You want to talk about prodigies? A second generation prodigy.
Absolutely.
You've got to check him out if you have not.
So Kai Thomas and I had a great conversation, and we were interrupted by your friend JT Cage. Obviously, because we didn't send his name too many times. Say his name and he'll appear. I believe,
especially with you at the controls.
I don't like that. I don't like your tone. But anyway, while I was going through that nonsense last Sunday, you were elsewhere. Please talk about that.
So last Sunday, I was at Phantom 6 Wrestling, which was promoted by Dylan Quinn. It was an all-day show up at the brewery in Bethlehem, the Country Club Brewing Company. Fantastic show. Really a who's who of Northeastern Pennsylvania Wrestling. The 570 Wrestling Experience was up there. J.S. Michaels, ABJ, all of that crew. I first want to shout out everybody that was involved in that show in any way, shape, or form. If you were ring crew, if you were a talent, if you were whatever, you did a fantastic job against constraints in certain ways. It's not easy to do an outdoor show. It's not easy to do an outdoor show in a parking lot. Certainly not easy to do an outdoor show in a parking lot where the person who owns that parking lot is not very cooperative to said show. Don't know what that person's name was. Don't know what all the story was, but you learn and karma's going to get you. That's all I'll say about that.
Okay.
So, but fantastic show. We had the TNA Tag Team Champions there. I got to call probably more of that show than I think I would have expected initially coming in. I got to do all of the pre-show. I got to do most of both shows. It was actually a pre-show and then 2 shows during that day, and we had bands playing live and just everybody involved. Thank you so much. I got to talk to folks that have been on around the turnbuckle and actually cross off my bucket list working a show with them. You know, Uncle Masty was out there. I'm going to shout him out. We got to get Uncle Masty back. He wants to come back.
Oh,
to get him back on here.
All he needs to do is ask.
Well, he asked me, so I'm telling you.
Okay.
We'll get it scheduled. We'll get it figured out. But, great to see Smash Master. Great to see. Really, I think the show was everything that is happening within the Pennsylvania wrestling scene. We had some hardcore matches. We had some fantastic athleticism. I saw guys that I do believe are going to be on television very soon. It was great doing something different and working with different people and just a fantastic day. Thank you to everybody involved. I believe tomorrow, if you follow Phantom 6 on YouTube and on their Facebook page, I believe we're going to have matches with commentary up tomorrow. Everything has been edited and put together, and it was a fantastic time. I missed everybody here, but I promise you I did not duck out, but for a very good reason. And to see Dylan Quinn at that show and to see his dream come true of promoting a show and how emotional he was during that, to be able to talk to the Godfather and hang out with the Godfather, Mark Mast.
Awesome.
Priceless experiences.
Awesome. Cool. Kudos to you and everybody involved for raising that money for that great cause.
And we raised a hell of a lot of money for that cause. So it was
suicide prevention is something that
everything went to a charity. I can assure you, it did not go to us, did not go to anybody else. It went right where it belongs.
Suicide prevention is something that everybody has, had rubs with one way or another. So yes, that's an excellent cause, and kudos to Dylan and everybody involved. And of course, we will get in touch with Uncle Masty and whoever else went. But, on the 29th, we have Draven the Blackbird King. On October the 6th, we have Jeff Christian, who is one of the voices of AXW. He's also getting involved lately in production and post-production, kind of behind the scenes stuff. Jeff's getting more into the technological side of wrestling, putting shows together and things like that. So that's kind of cool.
Awesome.
So we're gonna talk to him. And Jeff's been on many times before for us, just usually talking about WWE or whatever. But it's about damn time that we have Jeff on his own to tell his wrestling story and some of the stories he has, some of the people he's met. He's met a lot of famous wrestlers. So
yes, it is about damn time you stop discriminating against him and let him on this show.
Well, he's a Buccaneers fan. What can I do? Well, they're 2-0 anyway. But on the 13th of October, the week after that, Sunday, we are going to have Sage Del Barrio. Will she be the 3WA Women's Champion? I don't know. We'll see.
She's got her
How-
opportunity, and
She's
she
got her opportunity.
certainly is a game competitor.
So that's so on the 6th we have Jeff Christian. On the 13th we have Sage Del Barrio. On the 20th we have the three Beards of Wrestling, all three of them.
Oh, good Lord. This is going to be an unmanageable show.
God
You know what?
knows how
I'll
that's
just
gonna
sit
go.
here in the corner and I'll just soak it up. How about that? We'll do that.
God,
That'll make it work.
God knows what we're gonna talk about. Yo, what's up, Bron or Jay? Bron,
Do I
I
have to
think.
pick? Do I have to pick?
Yeah,
Oh,
Braun. I think Braun.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that Braun's there yet. I think I do Jay now,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get to Braun because Jay, you got to run with Jay at some point now. Like I was very much for the longest time of like, okay, Jay's like kind of with Jeff Hardy. We're all right. We're having fun, and then we're gonna get the tag team back together, and that's gonna be. And now I'm kind of like, I think I was wrong, and I think.
Okay.
I think Jay deserves a run with something. I don't know that Jay is a guy that I'm putting a world title on right now because
But the Intercontinental title?
I could do that because I don't want any world title. Like I can't take it off Cody
No.
right now. I don't want to take it off Gunther because Gunther is a fucking super villain right now.
Right.
I mean, he's getting heat I'm seeing on the internet for fucking working the Brett Goldberg thing. And people are taking it like it's a shoot.
That was good
And I'm
stuff,
like,
though.
that is a motherfucking super villain right there. So I can't fuck with Gunther.
Stuff. Yeah.
Right. So it's like for the best of reasons, I can't move anybody to those belts right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jay could do a very good because Jay's almost at a point where I almost don't need to give him a belt because Jay's almost a belt in and of himself right now. Yeah. And Braun's not there yet. Braun, I think, does still need a belt and a dominant, monstrous run with whatever belt you gave. Like he has Intercontinental right now. So he's got to be a monster with the Intercontinental to get up there.
Yeah.
If I could do something, because I think Braun and Jay are opposite. Are they opposite brands right now? I'm not sure.
Braun and Jay?
Yeah. Or are they both Raw?
No, Braun is Raw. Jay is no, they're both Raw. You're right. They're both Raw because Jay's been teaming up with the Terror Twins.
Right. Okay. So I keep that going. I think I'd like to get to a place where I could put those two against each other and have some fun with that. But I think I got to get Braun a little bit more, just a little bit more monster.
Yeah.
And then I'm willing to do that. So I don't think it's a Braun or Jay question. I think it's when do we get to Braun versus Jay for me.
Okay. So three Beards of Wrestling. So again, on the 29th, next week we're not here. On the 29th, we're here with Draven. On the 6th, we're here with Jeff Christian. On the 13th, we're here with Sage Rose Del Barrio. On the 20th of October, we're here with the Three Beards of Wrestling. God knows what we're going to talk about, but it's going to be crazy. And then on the 20th,
like I said, I'm probably not going to say anything because Adrian's here.
And then on the 27th, we have the boys from Inside the Squared Circle. That's David. That's Adrian Bliss. That's the Wolfman. All three of them.
I'm going to just bask in that.
So that is the 27th. That is the Sunday before Halloween.
You know what? Maybe that's the show where you don't talk. I won't talk when the Three Beards are here, and you don't talk when they're here because they're my friends.
So let me answer Piranha here. So Piranha, our guest tonight was supposed to be Mac Blakely, and Mac Blakely has been refereeing around here. He's also training to be a wrestler, and he's had a few matches under his belt, especially for Frontier.
Yeah, he just recently, I believe, had his first handful of matches.
I talked to Mac. I talked to Mac Blakely earlier today around 2-3 o'clock, and he said he asked me about the link and the setup. Does he have to download anything? Does he have to blah, blah blah? I said no, and I'll send you the link at 5:30. He goes, okay, sounds good. I sent him the link at 5. I'm sorry, I sent him the link at 5:30. And he has not responded or seen it or looked at it. I don't know if his phone is dead. I don't know if he fell asleep. I have not heard from him at all. So Keith and I are going to talk here for a few minutes, and we'll take questions if anybody has any questions, like the one you threw up there with Bron or Jay. That was a good one. Thank you. But yeah, we don't have a guest tonight at the moment. We'll give him till probably 20 after, and then we'll get the heck out of here. But again,
maybe, I mean, I'm just spitballing here, but maybe if there are wrestlers or anyone in the chat that maybe wants to jump in.
Are you talking about Prince Piranha?
I could be Piranha.
Well, you
I
see,
know
Piranha.
you were telling me backstage that Draven was talking to you.
He was, but he
Draven
stopped.
wants to bump up his spot. I'm just saying, he's still
I don't
around.
know if he's watching, but he stopped talking to me. But anyway,
I'm just saying, you know what? If you got your gear, right? It's all about if you got your gear, if shit happens.
You want to be tagged in?
Well, yeah, we all know how it works, right? If you want to be tagged in, you go to a show and somebody says, oh, you know how to do something? Oh, you know how to do this? You know how to do that? Hey. Because I always feel like, and this is the biggest thing that I still have to overcome in the business, is I still have this idea that nobody's showing up for me or to listen to me talk or listen to my blather or anything else. And I know I got to get over it because some of you really do like my blather, and I love all of you that tell me you do. I really sincerely do, because it does mean the world to me.
Tyrone says, Draven on the show. I can't wait. This dude is cool and is going to be a huge star. Yeah, I can't wait to have him either, Tyrone. I've been talking to Draven all week, and again, I want Draven to get the full hour, though. At this point, if he comes on now, he's going to get like 30 minutes. But Draven, if you are watching,
he doesn't have to forfeit his spot.
No,
later on, he can just show up, and it's like a preview. You're doing a pre-show for your show.
But yeah, we can't wait to talk to Draven either. And Draven, and let it be known, this is the truth. Draven reached out to us. This is true. I mean, a lot of times Keith and I meet somebody and we say, hey, we got this podcast and blah, blah, blah. And it kind of happens through word of mouth. Or maybe we have a guest and the guest says to one of his buddies or one of the people he trains with, hey, I was just on this podcast. It's really cool. You should go do it. Things like that. Draven reached out to us.
Yeah.
Okay. He watched 3WA Carnage and listened to our commentary, and somebody told him, hey, those guys do a podcast. And so he's like, oh, really? So he friended me on Facebook. It just popped up, and then he messaged me, and then Draven's like, hey, you got an opening someday soon? And sure enough, we had one on the 29th. So not next Sunday, but the following Sunday on the 29th, Draven, the Blackbird King, will be right here.
Yeah, love you, brother. Love that hustle, brother.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, Tyrone, though. And again, for those of you who are tuning in, looking for Mac Blakely, Mac Blakely has not responded to anything that I've sent him. I keep sending him random messages while Keith and I are talking, but Keith and I are only going to stay on here for a few. And Piranha, the offer's on the table, bro. If you want to come on here right now and talk some stuff, because I remember at the last SWO show, he was talking to me about how it was all chopped up and he had bad internet, and it was and we kind of ended up downgrading to like him being like the voice of him on the phone. So yeah, man, if you want us to see your pretty face, by all means, pop on here, Piranha. It's
the world needs more Prince Piranha. Prince Piranha is I'm serious. Prince Piranha is one of those guys that is just one of my boys and one of those
tremendous talent.
So tremendous. He's a tremendous talent, and he is so supportive of us and always has been. And The world needs Prince Piranha. Like they need it.
Well, Prince Piranha is welcome to come on here. Anyway, speaking of Prince Piranha, he will be in action defending the tag team championships at SWO in
Yes, indeed.
Seven
Next
Valleys
Saturday
this coming Saturday. Yes, the 21st. I'm sorry, next Saturday. You're
will
right.
be the September to remember. And if you don't think that me as a giant ECW mark is going to be very happy to put that out on the airwaves, you don't know me. But I mean, it's a great card. It's a great card. It's a fantastic card. We are settling rivalries. We've got Kimberly Spirit versus that piece of shit, Benny Slater.
For the Uprising
the
title.
SWO Uprising title. Hopefully, we're going to get that title away from Benny Slater. I try to be non-biased, fans, but frankly, he fucking rooked all of us.
He did.
And
so
I sat there and I called him a hero. I called him a hero. And then the mask came off. I am embarrassed. I am angry that he made me lie to you, the fans. I take that very personally. So I hope come next Saturday, Benny Slater is not going to have the gold. And frankly, it's not going to have a career left after next Saturday.
All right. So fans, that is Saturday, September the 21st in Seven Valleys. You can get tickets at SWOprowrestling.org. Reserve your seats for that tremendous show. Also on that show, Professor Merrick Miami faces Matt Vertigo for the SWO Unlimited Championship.
Yeah, and maybe we should handcuff Marshall Moore. Maybe I should handcuff myself to Marshall Moore. There's an idea. Why don't we do that? Why don't if Marshall Moore sits down with me at Color, I can just handcuff myself to Marshall Moore and he can keep himself out of the SWO title picture.
Piranha thinks he's a bad example as a champion. I
think both of them are.
Well, here's the thing. Recently on social media, Marshall Moore put out a video that he has recently applied for and got his manager license. So,
of course he did.
And so that means he has also offered his services to Matt Vertigo if he wants him in his corner. That's an interesting development.
That's kind of like closing the barn door after the horses left, isn't it? I mean, let's be real here. Yeah. Marshall Moore is the reason that Matt Vertigo is still the SWO Unlimited Champion. He screwed Zach Belmont out of that championship. He did. And he owes Zach Belmont an apology this Saturday. And it better be real and it better be sincere. That you're going to see this Saturday. You're also going to see Ace Dallas, my personal friend, Ace Dallas.
I love how you call these people your personal friend like they're not mine.
I'm not trying to say that. I know Ace Dallas is also a friend of yours. Can I have a little bit of an ego, just slight ego, little ego?
Are you asking me for an ego? Because no. You don't have to ask for that. It's already there. I'm just saying, like, I keep my mouth quiet, but you say things like, I was there. I was at the show. I was in the locker room. So was I. I'm the damn ring announcer for SWO.
I know you're the damn ring announcer. I'm trying to preserve your neutrality. I don't want the people to think that my opinions are your opinions, because they're not. We differ on certain things. I don't want people to think that their ring announcer is in some way biased or is agreeing with things that I say.
They love me at Seven Valleys and I love them right back.
There you go. And that's all I'm saying. I don't want to impugn you. I don't want to create a situation where people think, oh, if the professor says this, then clearly Al thinks the same way. No, of course not. We're different people and, different people might disagree. I see a great comment from Dylan here.
I'd love to put it up there. I was waiting for you to be done.
I'm done.
Okay. Dylan Quinn says, thank you for shouting out Phantom 6 earlier in the show. That means a lot to me. Seeing all the positive feedback, still surreal. Yeah.
You did a hell of a job, brother. I told you that on the day. Thank you so much again for letting me be part of it. I mean, yeah, just a fantastic job of bringing so much of what's great about Pennsylvania wrestling together on that day.
Absolutely. Piranha.
And maybe he should be on the next one.
Piranha, what are you laughing at? I want to know what you're laughing at. 1 second, Professor. You're very welcome, Dylan Quinn. You are very welcome.
You don't even have to thank us for that.
We can make that happen.
Perfect.
There you go. I'm getting crapped on by the Raiders fans for saying that they were going to lose to your Ravens. Mr. Piranha.
That's not a stupid
Mr. Piranha, I literally get in text messages because I incorrectly predicted that the Ravens would bounce back from their loss to Kansas City, and they didn't do that. So, Mr. Piranha, can you please explain yourself and the Ravens Nation and what the hell's going on? It's 0-2 now. I was waiting for you to be done. Oh,
he's stirring.
Love it. All right. So, guys, we appreciate you all tuning in. When we don't have a guest, it really helps us talk about everything that's going on. So, Seven Valleys, again, the 21st. Saturday the 21st, Seven Valleys. SWO September to remember. Plenty of matches have been announced.
And again, as I was saying, and I didn't get there because we got bogged down, we've got Ace Dallas in a gauntlet match against UCK.
Yes.
And Tim Rush.
Yes.
The damn unholy alliance of Tim Rush and UCK against Ace Dallas. Ace Dallas is that determined to get his hands
on Tim Rush. He's got to go through Al Snook
and Just Jay.
He's got to go through Al Snook and Just Jay. But
gentlemen,
how about the return, Professor?
You better protect your man Tim Rush, because if Ace Dallas were to manage to get his hands on Tim Rush, I think it would be an Ivan Drago moment. You know the line now. Sure. Whatever Dallas hits, Dallas destroys when it's Tim Rush.
As long as they make bad decisions on the sidelines, we won't win anything. Well, you got a coach there, bud. That's named Mr. Harbaugh. Man, Mr. Harbaugh is a pretty damn good coach, I think. I don't know. He's not the only guy making decisions, though.
No, he's not. You would have to work very hard to make me think that Mr. Harbaugh has lost a step as head coach.
Speaking of Prince Piranha and the tag team champions, Horrifying
They will be in action.
They will be in action against the outfielders, Professor. Are you excited to see the outfielders?
You know, I am excited to see this matchup. I mean, and, you know, one of the things that we've really talked about in the SWO over time is I think a lot of people discounted Prince Piranha and his partner, Mr. Myers.
Yes.
We might be past the YouTube algorithm, so I can say his name, because they don't like when we say his name, his first name.
Right.
Mr. Suicide Myers, Slip and Slide Myers, whatever we need to say. Don't yell at us, YouTube.
King Myers.
So we, you know, I think a lot of people discounted them as a makeshift team or a team that they didn't understand. But if you have watched these two men since winning those tag team titles at the Reynolds Rumble, some people would say maybe seemingly out of nowhere. I don't understand it. It was a multi-man match, but they've beaten Order 66. They have beaten everybody that has been put in front of them. And you see the influence
Yep.
You see that Prince Piranha is influencing Suicide Myers. We saw some influence coming from Suicide Myers to Prince Piranha. Piranha putting on a mask
Sure.
last show. There is a cohesion now. Horrifying. They have a name. They're Horrifying Hunger. They're not just two guys together and we're announcing the name. They have a team name. We're seeing the cohesion. We're seeing this become a solid unit together in front of our eyes.
You realize we're doing a free SWO pre-show right here, right now?
I'm very happy to do a free SWO pre-show. I believe in the SWO. If I didn't believe in the SWO, I would not drive the amount of time that I drive to the SWO. I would not offer, to break down the ring for the SWO like I do. I would not go hang out and offer ideas or anything else. I love SWO. SWO, to my mind, is a hidden secret in wrestling right now. And I know that there are folks here where I live in New Jersey that are watching SWO on YouTube because they can't get out to those shows. But they're watching and they're appreciating the product. And I think the SWO has unlimited potential. And I encourage everybody here, if you can't get out to Seven Valleys on Saturday, we're on YouTube. We're there.
Yep.
What does it cost you to type Susquehanna Wrestling Organization?
Oh man, you can see
in
the
your
last
YouTube
show we
search
did.
bar?
I mean, they're up.
Nothing.
They're up to date. They released the videos before the next show, so they're completely up to date. They have last month's show there.
Yep.
There was a ladder match for the Uprising Championship.
Yeah,
there was the hair versus mask match between Kimberly Spirit and the Masked Man.
Every match was a main event match last month at Summer Series 9. It was one of the most challenging commentary.
Fun.
Yeah, fun. But
fun for me
to
announce.
For me too. So
an
challenging.
Absolute pleasure.
From a commentary perspective, but a pleasure because, I mean, everything was a banger. Yeah. If you go back and watch those videos from the SWO and you're not intrigued and you don't enjoy it, you're just not gonna like SWO, and I feel like you're just not into wrestling.
And speaking of bangers,
Professor, there's no hyperbole in that.
Professor, speaking of bangers, if everything that we've said so far about the 21st of September won't get you to buy a ticket, please listen to what I'm about to say. Last Man Standing. Do you like those? Do you like those? Well, they're always exciting. You never know what's going to happen. But again, the issue between Cody Rhodes and Seth, man, I almost said Seth Rollins. Wow. Yeah, sure. Sean Rollins has come to a head, and what a way to end that feud is a last man standing match. And Cody Rhodes has been a thorn, ever since that team split, ever since Rose Gold 2.0 split up, he's been a thorn in Rollins' side. Rollins has come so close to reaching new heights here in SWO, and now he finally can put this to bed with his old rival, Cody Rhodes. Last man standing. It's going to be off the hook.
I will pull the curtain back just a little bit. Sean Rollins, I spoke to him before the ladder match for the SWO Uprising Championship last month at Summer Series, and I said, I know it's a ladder match for that championship, that coveted SWO Uprising Championship. Yeah. And I know Cody Rhodes is in that match. And I know between the glory of that title and your hatred, which is completely justified for Cody Rhodes made him a scapegoat, made him a tackling dummy in many of their matches because Cody said, you're my bodyguard. I pay you to do this. And Sean Rollins really, I think, hasn't made it as clear to the fans as he should that after General Kiesel seized control of Rose Gold Incorporated, Cody Rhodes is living on bank loans and whatever he can scrape together. And you know who didn't get paid while all that was going on? That was Shawn Rollins. Shawn Rollins took ass kickings like you wouldn't believe for free. For free. Because Cody Rhodes said, no, I'll pay you back later. I'll get you back later. Shawn Rollins is the most justified man in his hatred in a lot of ways than anybody else in wrestling right now. And I told Shawn Rollins, I said, with all that said and known, you got to promise me that you're going to be safe in that ladder match. And you are not going to kill yourself in that match. And he almost did. He almost broke that promise. Shawn Rollins is going to be unleashed on Saturday. No rules, no disqualifications, no pinfalls. He has to beat Cody Rhodes to where he doesn't answer a 10 count. Cody Rhodes is the ultimate strategist. He is the ultimate manipulator. But Saturday night, he's got a very angry and motivated Shawn Rollins who gets to do whatever he wants to put Cody Rhodes down for that 10 count.
Well, I'll tell you, Professor, it's going to be worth the price of admission alone. Fans, SWOProWrestling.org is the website. Saturday, September 21st at Seven Valleys Community Fire Hall. Doors open at 6 o'clock. You don't want to miss that array of matches as we have just discussed. Last man standing, like I said, Cody Rhodes. And in the last 2 months, Professor, has there not been 2 straight months where during the whatever match Shawn Rollins was involved in, there's been a holy shit chant, you know,
and justified.
Justified. I mean he
Shawn
is really
Rollins
starting to gain momentum.
His body.
He's really starting to gain momentum and respect of the SWO faithful for sure.
He absolutely has, and again, and I know Al's going to get mad, but I'm just saying, Shawn Rollins, I've spent a lot of time with lately. He has become a friend, and Shawn Rollins has just blossomed of late, and it is fantastic to see someone blossom as a talent, to see it click for them. Shawn Rollins for a while there was somebody that was a guy on the card, or maybe he was working with somebody else who was the star, and now he's becoming a star. And Piranha has a prediction for his matchup.
The outfielders are going to be Angels in the outfield when we're finished.
What did I talk about? Influences. Do you think Prince Piranha was going to say that prior to this association with Suicide Myers? I'm getting a little concerned about how the influencing is going here, because that sounds a little more
macabre.
Suicide, right? It sounds a little more Suicide Myers to me than it does Prince Piranha.
Well, we are getting close to Halloween, Professor.
Well, that's true, but I mean,
this is Myers season, baby.
I know it's spooky season. You have to tell me. We start putting the Halloween decorations up in the store. I'm the guy that's saying, like, how fast in August can I finally say it's spooky season? Beetlejuice is the #1 movie in America right now.
It absolutely is.
I'm a happy guy.
Did you see it yet?
I have not. I got to get the family together and we got to go see it, because I ran a Beetlejuice for the kid and everybody else, and they were like, "This is amazing," and I'm like, "Yeah, and it's amazing that you've never seen this before, because I've known about this since I was 7."
Well, it was 1989. I mean, these kids weren't born yet.
I know they weren't born yet. I'm just saying that's a failure as a parent.
Oh, okay. I
get when you don't put that in front of people and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I do want to go. I do want to see it. It's one of the rare movies I want to see in the theaters these days. Because yeah, I love that property. I love Beetlejuice. I love a good Tim Burton movie when Tim Burton is passionate and excited and on his game, because Tim Burton is an amazing filmmaker.
All right, man. Well, listen, my tablet that I'm watching that I'm using right now is down to 5%, so we got to wrap this up. But I appreciate Piranha and Dylan and David and everybody and Tyrone and everybody that chimed in tonight to allow this conversation to move forward. We look forward to seeing each and every one of you SWO faithful in Seven Valleys. The professor will have the call. I will be your ring announcer that evening. And let us not forget our folks down in the Quakertown area who watch us also, that on the 28th of September, we will be back in Quakertown for 3WA Live. Tickets are just $20 there, fans. Again, tickets are $20 at Seven Valleys as well. Doors
bring
open
some
at
non-perishable canned food. We have a food drive going on that night.
Yes.
And in October as well. You got some canned food around you don't need, or maybe you can go down to a store and pick some up. I mean, let's help the less fortunate. Let's help the needy. Let's do a good thing while having a great night of professional wrestling.
Good stuff, man. All right. It was a pleasure sitting here talking to you as always, Professor. And it was a pleasure talking to everybody who chimed in. To Mac Blakely, if you watch this later, you are welcome, sir, to reschedule sometime in November. I did send you a message to your Facebook Messenger saying that we will reschedule you in November. We'll figure it out. No worries. These things happen.
We
just hope that you're okay.
Yeah.
You know, we just hope that you're okay, and it's not a emergency situation where you just couldn't be with us tonight. Draven, you're up next. You're up next, my man. And that is on the 29th. No show next week, guys. But Draven, the Blackbird King, will be here on this hot seat in 2 weeks. Same time, same channel. Professor, final thoughts before I run out of power.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who chimed in. Like you said, thank you to everybody who watches and maybe doesn't chime in so much. We love you too. And folks, if you can come out to SWO next Saturday, do so. We love you. We want to see you. If you can only watch it on YouTube, maybe you've never watched SWO before, type it in that search bar, Susquehanna Wrestling Organization. And of course, if not, then we will see you the next weekend out in Quakertown, 3WA. Type 3WA Carnage into your search bar if you can't get out to Quakertown,
Listen to some of our
YouTube
shenanigans. It's fun.
Yeah, YouTube support is still support.
Yes, that's awesome. All right, guys, that'll wrap it up for Around the Turnbuckle this week. For the Professor, I am Big Al, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good night.
You think you know me?
Oh, yeah! If you smile! Woo! The calculations are correct.